This Chelsea game's interesting because I think Liverpool are poor after they concede the Caicedo shot they should never have allowed. But the flip side of it is, I don't think Chelsea then run amok in anywhere near the same way as Palace did. You know, and I think that's an important comparison, and that you see that in the underlying numbers here.
Well, I think the numbers they surprised me a little bit. After the game, I kind of realised, right, this isn't crisis talk. You know, the numbers generally are favourable. I think it's 12 apart on the shot count, and I think the XG Liverpool have edged, and that's despite Chelsea creating a tap-in at the last kick of the game with Estebao's goal. So generally, Chelsea felt like they'd played quite well, but in terms of actual product, shots-wise, they didn't really create anything.
There's loads of balls coming across. There's the Enzo header, which is a great header, by the way, and if it goes in, you know, it's a low-value chance, the Enzo header, the one that hits the post. There's a lot of the ball feeling like it's going across Liverpool's box from 80. I think this is you know, and this is where sometimes the expected goals thing can be just a little bit misleading. When you get a lot of that, you feel like, Christ, these aren't that far away, and then when they score from a ball that goes across Liverpool's box, then that's a vindicated feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think the flip side of that is, I think there's loads of Liverpool should be getting into score 3 or 4 times between 60 and 80, where Liverpool actually don't get a shot off, or if they do get a shot off, it's not the right shot. Where I think even first half, the one that Szoboszlai is blocked, that's actually quite low value because there's 3 players in front of him. But if he takes a touch to his right hand side and puts it in the other corner, there's no one in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, there's little he showed not just one touch, but shifts it out from under his feet in quite a dramatic way. But he'd still have time, but he doesn't know that because no one's telling him. So I think there's a funny thing with the numbers in this one to an extent where I think both sides should genuinely off the game, the way the game was, the game state. I don't think either side's XG is high enough. They should be creating more than they actually do.
I agree. I think realistically, probably looking at more of a 2-2. But I think the XG suggests 1-1 at best.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. But I think for the most part, I think if you paused every promising attack in the match, I think you're looking at a relatively even game, to be honest. I think Liverpool probably create marginally better shots where you're thinking, like, right, if you paused it just as the shot's getting taken, you're thinking, might go in there. With Chelsea, there was less of them, I felt, but as you say, you know, they're creating promising attacks without getting the shot off at the end.
Well, you see that in the race chart, and for me, this is where Liverpool have got to have a little look second half and feel as though should be doing better up to 80 minutes, maybe a little bit ahead. For me, there's a couple of similarities with the Everton game, apart from the fact that what happens is that Chelsea go 1-0 and Liverpool don't, where it's at the end of a difficult European week. Liverpool, I think, when they go 1-1, it's worth saying Chelsea have only really had one decent, and by decent I mean really low value, second half attempt on around 60 minutes. Liverpool from half time have dominated where the chances are coming from until about 80. But as I say, they've dominated chances for chances, but they haven't done enough. And I think if they go 2-1, it becomes not dissimilar to the derby. Get in your structure, defend really responsibly, see the game out. I think for me, one of the things that's difficult is from 80, 85, I just don't think Liverpool know where to pitch the tent.
Yeah, well, I think one interesting thing, if we highlight there roughly around the 75th minute, Chelsea make a treble sub at that point, and they bring on a few attackers.
Well, it's a new front three. They literally take all 3 attackers off and bring a whole new one on. I'm going to come on to that, so we'll do that quite quickly. Okay. This is also Chelsea's shot map, which I think if you take the last minute one out, Liverpool would deal on that before the ball was kicked, even allowing for that one going in from Caicedo. If you take the orange one out there, Liverpool will go, that's great. Loads of those are headers, loads of those are blocks. That's a shot in the penalty area, but it's from a mad angle. There's the Caicedo one, which does arrow in, and maybe, you know, Liverpool stats bomb doesn't rate it highly enough given how much time he's got to steady himself. But it is what it is. It's a
serious finish.
It's a serious finish. Liverpool's shot map, though, I think Chelsea a deal on that as well. It's worth saying Liverpool one really high value one, and then other bits and pieces as you're going around that Liverpool aren't getting on target. Pass networks here, you've got, this is the first half, the way it starts, and I think that one of the things you get to see from this is why Chelsea, you know, I don't think they are quite as good as people tried to make out in the game first half. When Liverpool, I think, were rocking after they go 1-0, Chelsea's still playing quite a broken team. You know, you look at that average position there, and they're not even linking up with Neto or Pedro, anyone, to any great degree. The use of Gusto, I think, was really interesting in that they were almost quite happy to have Gusto and James take a couple of turns. Fernandes and Caicedo sort of sit quite responsibly. They were looking to get the ball into Garnacho because they thought he could hurt Bradley. But that's certainly not a home team pass map, if you see what I mean, in a side where they're bang on top.
No, there's some interesting takeaways there. I think I'm curious to know whether it was a back 4 or a back 5, because if you look at personnel in there, it looks a bit like a 5. Looks like Reece James was a wide centre half, and I think someone, maybe Cucurella, mentioned that after the game. But Gusto, as you say, was playing like a very inverted, weird kind of role, and he did similar at Anfield last season in October, funnily enough, where he's popping up behind. I think it was Gravenberch that season. I think he was playing left back. So he's a bit of a problem for Liverpool to pick up, and as you say, Garnacho there. You know, we know what Cucurella said on the back of Salah, you know, when it comes to like leaving space behind him and stuff. So Garnacho was kind of an outball. Bradley was getting doubled up on at times. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff in there.
Do you know what I also think is interesting?
Go on.
You look at that Chelsea pass network. If he was fit, where would you play Cole Palmer?
It's a good question. Probably where the gap is.
But then will he not play?
Yeah.
I think, genuinely, without being daft about this, I think that Chelsea touch lucky that Palmer's injured. Because either pick Cole Palmer, but I don't think Palmer's. If you want to play like this, which is the way they want, you know, if you want to do this, Palmer doesn't suit being either side of Pedro.
Well, I think positionally on the ball, you'd probably want him where Gusto is. Well, but then if you're playing a back 5, like I just said,
well, he's not playing that.
Cole Palmer's not playing a wing back, is he? So it's a good point.
Yeah. You move forward second half, you get to a couple of things. One is Estevao being able to link really well with Lavia. Which was something that Liverpool didn't really entirely get to grips with at any point. It's worth saying that that's a pretty strong link, given the length of time that they were actually both on the pitch. And going from there, you get to also see that Lavia, Fernandes and Caicedo play really close together, which is the thing I think the second sub, the banker subs does for him. It isn't so much that those players come on and impress, because they do, and we'll come on to that. Estevao obviously scores the winner, but I think they completely made their minds up in terms of, right, basically Enzo Fernandez, Lavia and Caicedo just play as like this robotic 3 that win every fight, like, you know, Robocops in the middle of the pitch to protect the centre-backs, but also to go and create the platform for the other lads at that point. So that's really messy in there. What I think is interesting is Szoboszlai at right back, from a Liverpool point of view, actually has a deeper average position and getting on the ball than Bradley, which certainly wouldn't have hit me with the eye test the way the game was going. But he's firstly playing into Salah, and secondly, he's Liverpool's strongest second half performer for on-ball value. That's why he's red.